beautiful people. Welcome to the Miss Best Reviews channel. I am Mrs. Best, and we have our regular co-host from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel, James.
Hey,
Hello.
hey, hey. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe. Show my girl some love. We all be in this thing.
Please do, please do. We really hope everyone likes, comments, and subscribes. So we welcome everyone in, whether you're from the replay gang or if you are here live now, welcome. Please, please, please subscribe to James's channel. You will not regret it. We do a lot of shows on his channel. We pretty much do all of our lives together. It's just we separate the channels. Maybe one day we'll do a channel together, but today is not that day. So in the meantime, you can catch us together on his channel as well. The link's in the description. Also see the link for Kiwan JTV, who will be going live with later today at 8 p.m. on James's channel. We're also going to be doing a live next week with her for the premiere of Love During Lockup on my channel. Subscribe to Shayna_MCD as well. She does great content. She covers a lot of own shows like Love, Ready to Love. I don't know why I was about to say Love and Desire. I don't know what that is. But subscribe. Let me see who is here. Hi, DM Rocks. He said, so happy to see my favorite Gigi back. I love Gigi. I've always liked Gigi, but Gigi might smoke more weed than me, y'all. We gonna get into it.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay, I was like, wait, which one is Gigi?
Yeah, so it seems like they're trying to give them like use their actual names, which we've always kind of known, but they had their own little, like I believe Mercedes goes by MJ. I know Reza is Reza. And then there's Gigi. That's really all I remember from when it was Shaws of Sunset.
Y'all, I'm coming in, but just like with the other Valley, I'm coming into this completely blind. Do not know. I know a couple of people, like through other Bravo associations of what they may have done on Bravo. Like Reza, of course, I am very familiar with because this was a huge deal for him to do when he did his show. I remember that was the talk of the town, how this was taboo in their culture for him to do this. So, I always had kind of a mutual respect for that. And of course, I knew MJ, and I guess her name is Gigi. I never had a name to her, but those were the three I knew. Other than that, I didn't know anybody else. I can't tell you anything about them, these people. So I'm not objective.
Also, the three most popular, but the Shaws of Sunset to me was kind of similar to Vanderpump Rules, except they were kind of just living their life, doing their thing, and really showcasing their culture and their community. California is probably a great representation of what America is as a country, which is a country made up of immigrants. Those who get angry at that, seek help. But it's nice to show like parts of California because there is a big Persian community here in California. In the Bay Area, it's more so people who are Iranian. Like I have several friends from Tehran, Iran, and them people can cook. That's all I'm saying. Them people can cook and well. But I'm happy to see them showcasing a show with different culture. That's always good because Bravo, the colorless just are not entertaining us anymore. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm still on the clock and I have a client going crazy. But I'm happy to get back into this show. So we start this first episode with MJ Mercedes. She was a part of Shaws of Sunset when it was on television. I've never liked her face or any of that. Some people should not do plastic surgery. Persian women are beautiful, naturally.
Yes, absolutely.
She reminds me of Larsa Pippen, who I believe is also Persian, of Persian descent. And I don't know why y'all touch your face like that and ruin it. This lady looks like she's had an allergic reaction all the time. So I hope that she figures it out. But she's back. She worked with Mauricio Umansky, Kyle Richards' husband, at the agency. So she's obviously making a good amount of money. She's still in real estate. She's still admitting to being obsessed with plastic surgery, her life, her choice, whatever. But girl, the way you was in that hospital bed a couple of years ago, I thought that you would give that up, but okay. But we get to see Tommy. She was with him back when Shaws of Sunset was on TV. Now, I didn't watch too much of these people, but I do remember him being lightly problematic. He's a podcast producer, and they've apparently been married for 7 years, which is not long at all, the marriage terms. Just saying. If you go get a divorce, they'll call your marriage a young marriage if it's under 10 years. So And there's a reason for that. But we get her. I'm not going to say too much on her because these first scenes was just like introductions. So there's only so much we can say. We then get to see Reza and his partner, Adam. They're going to be the gay couple on this show. As James said, is taboo in their culture to be of that community. He's here. One thing I like about Reza, he represents himself. He represents the gay community, but he does it without attacking other communities. And he does it without just leaning into that and without him being gay being his whole identity. Because it shouldn't be. Just saying. But he has his partner, Adam. They've been married for 10 years. I thought they were a cute couple. I still think that they're a cute couple. I feel like they are opposite in the right ways, but also messy in the similar ways, which we'll get to a little later. We then meet Sky and Bumshot. I hope I'm saying his name correctly. I'm going to call him Bam because I don't want to say his name incorrectly. So we meet Sky and Bam. This is our couple where he is much older than she is. I think there's like a 20-year age difference, or no, 18-year age difference. Now, she was very quick to point out, which could explain some of the states of their marriage that they in currently that we going to come back to. But I was confused at first. I was like, are these people married or are these people not married? I'm very confused with what's going on with that. But, you know, they have twins. They've been together 18 years. We'll come back to them because all these people got problems. We get an update on Gigi, who is an original cast member of the show. Her actual name is Golnessa, which I prefer much better than Gigi, but I understand why she goes by that because it's probably easier. Gigi has had a baby, a son named Elijah. This is where the drama starts with the show. So Gigi kind of tells us that she met with her friend Tannen, who I guess is going to be a cast member in the show, but we didn't know at this time. And she learned from Sky, who is married to Bamshad, Tannen learned from Sky that she still has Gigi's ring because there was some sort of ring that Gigi had with all these diamonds and beautiful things. And I guess a diamond, some stones have fell out of the ring. And so she gave it to Sky to fix because Sky is close to Tannen, Gigi's close to Tannen, and, you know, word of mouth, something like that. But she says she still ain't got her ring back and it's been some months. And I didn't understand that. I didn't. But we're going to put a pin on that. Well, actually, I'm not going to put a pin on it. We're just going to skip ahead a little bit because the way they did this episode was everywhere. So Tannen and Sky later meet together. And Tannen asked Sky about the ring. And Sky did too much. She was like, I did you a favor. I don't normally do that. The jewelry company I have, we design luxury jewelry. I don't do repairs. Okay, bitch, then why the fuck did you offer to do the repair?
Right. Why you just send it to the people? Send it to the people who actually do and get her a quote, and you say that's between y'all now. They ain't got nothing to do with me.
And fire whoever colored your hair because you out here looking like you got on a bad wig at the hairline while you being messy. Sky. I don't understand Sky. She irritated me with that. And when I saw that little bit, I was like, oh, you're messy. And then she made some Karen comments throughout the episode related to Gigi that we'll come back to. But she irked my soul with that. How do you feel about Tannen, though? Like, it's good that you're asking about it. But Tannen, you had to know your friend don't do jewelry repair since she's saying it unless she's BSing. So I don't know. I kind of don't know how to feel about Tannen thus far. And Sky, I don't like her after this first episode. Like, not even a little bit.
As I said, I'm still on the fence with everybody. I just feel like, to me, once again, you knew you didn't do that service. You knew that's not something you do. So I don't understand why you have an attitude about it instead of you just making the connection and say, hey, girl, I don't do that. Ain't my department. But let me get you, I know Billy over there. He can do it. Like, and you get his information. I'll give you his information. Y'all work that out. But let's be clear, I ain't got nothing to do with it. Once I hand you this man's number and y'all work that out, I ain't got nothing to do with it after that. Y'all have to say these things because it's always going. I will never forget. I had a cousin back home, and she had just got her very first pressing curl at like the age of 15. And you know, us being messed like, ooh, you got your hair all still clean, no more braids, no more nothing. And you know, me being funny, I ran my fingers through it and then I fluffed it back up so that way she wouldn't lose the curl, right? I didn't know she had a job interview. It went from her going to her interview and James messed up her hair. But she didn't say nothing the entire time. We was out there playing. She was going dumb, shaking her head. You know, that was back in the going dumb days. E40, y'all don't know nothing about that. But E40 going dumb, and she was shaking her head and everything. But it turned into James messed up her hair versus she was going dumb and could have fucked up her own hair. Same situation. God knows she don't do it, but you could have put her in the direction of somebody instead of saying, you know, because now it's automatically your fault. Automatically your fault.
She definitely should have done that. Let me catch the
Yeah.
comment. DM Rock said Reza was on the other show called The GOAT, referred to this Black woman as Godzilla. As Kevin Reynolds says in our previous live, doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me. There's a lot of things Black women could say about his chunky ass running around on television sloppy for years, flipping out. But we'll digress. I'm just here to review the show.
It's not surprising. It's sad. It's sad that he do that.
It's California. It's LA. But as a whole, a lot of minorities outside of Black people in California behave a certain way and feel like they're better than Black people, not realizing that when push comes to shove, they'll be treated just like this if need be by a certain class. But I digress. Hi, Shani. Welcome in. Happy to see you and happy Friday. I think it's too soon to say if this show is good or not. I think it's way too soon because I'm not going to lie. I was bored the first half of the episode because they were introducing people, but I shouldn't be bored being introduced to people. I should be entertained.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel. She said, remember when Reed was big with the porn stuff? What?
When Reza had his porn,
when Reza
had his porn stash, he had like a big ass, like the Tom Selleck going on. I remember that. Yeah, I totally remember that.
Yeah, I do remember that. His mustache has always bothered me, but you know.
And that mustache bothers anybody with that kind of mustache bothers me. Even Tom Selleck when he had it, I think he still has it. I'm not a fan of that.
It's things like that Reza does. I'll come back to it. I'll come back to Reza because there's things I want to say, but I won't. Mercedes is in the car with her husband, Tommy, and he says that he's not coming to no party. So the party that he's talking about is Gigi's party. Her son Elijah's turning 5 years old. She's throwing a party. And these Persian people, y'all try to make shit that was cultural that wasn't like really cultural. Like y'all like the only people get together, having birthday parties, partying hard. I'm like, this is like something that all cultures kind of
all cultures do, yeah.
But
we just don't get no Airbnbs to do it. That's the only difference.
Because we have our houses.
We have our houses, or we go to auntie in them house or somebody's house.
But the question that Shani asked, does Tommy still hate Reza? Yes. Tommy still hates Reza, and this is the reason why he says he doesn't want to go to the party with MJ, because he's still upset at Reza and Gigi for not supporting MJ when she was in the hospital fighting for her life. Sir, your wife is here. Your wife is healthy. Instead of wasting energy being mad at people for not supporting your wife in the hospital, maybe you should just be happy that your wife is here and your wife is happy. The other thing of it that's weird to me also is your friends aren't required to do that. Your friends, like I'm the friend that will step back, not visit as much, especially if family and stuff is there, kids are involved. What are they going to do for her in the hospital while she can barely even come to? What are they supposed to do? So I feel like, Tommy, grow up.
Yeah, I agree. Because I feel like if she moved on from it, and if she's fine, because remember, she was the person in the situation, in the actual situation, fighting for her life. If she had moved past it, forgave them, and understood that there is a lot of history, they have been friends for 20 plus years. So if she's able to move on, forgive that as her husband, you should be able to do that too, especially because you just got here 10 years ago. Them people had 20 years prior to you. So yeah, come on. Let's not do this.
That is true. They had 20 years prior, but I also feel a little differently on the MJ situation. You supposed to stick beside your husband. That's what's supposed to happen. So I guess his compromise is okay. We could be together and everything could be cool, but we don't need to. You know, he doesn't need to be there. But I just feel like his beef is dumb. The beef is dumb. The beef is dumb. Get over it, Tommy. Like they weren't there, but what else have they done bad? And then you're mad about this, but your wife still is very close with these people and hangs out with them. So they're not hurting her in real time. So what is the problem? Or did you think that you could marry her and get her away from her friends and her culture and have her come over to your ignorant ass culture? Is that what you thought, Tommy? Because that's what Tommy is given. Because it makes no sense. But we will come back to him. Tannen and Greg are an odd couple. They are the next couple that we're introduced to. Tannen and Greg are an extremely odd couple. They seemed okay. We got to meet them as a couple at Gigi's party. At this party, Sky arrives and Tannen is like, "Did you get the ring?" And this bitch forgot the ring. She's like, "Oh." Had to call somebody to bring it to her. So she brings the ring, gives it to Gigi, and everyone's happy and clapping. And the ring is this beautiful gold ring with white diamonds in the center of it. Lots of them. This woman returned Gigi's ring to her with yellow diamonds in place of where the white ones were supposed to go, which entirely messes up the color scheme of a ring that's filled with white diamonds and is lined with gold. It's going to throw the color off. So I saw Gigi look at it. She looked irritated. The fact that this woman would hand it back to her without saying anything is crazy. And I feel like she's going to be like, "Well, I replaced it with a diamond." Girl, would you have been mad, James, if somebody handed you your property back and the color is off and it's not how it's supposed to look when you thought that they was repairing it?
Mad would be an understatement for me. I would have lost my fucking mind.
Millions
Especially if, yes, what she was saying, the value of how much that ring costs. And then when you think about it has sentimental value so much that she wanted to get it repaired versus replacing it, it was kind of like, yeah, that ring definitely meant something. And the fact that you would do some petty ass shit, like put some, because you, first of all, why didn't you tell me that's what you had to do? I would have said, "Give me my shit back before you do it." That would have been the first thing. And then two, you playing with me because you probably knew the shit was going to look like this and it wasn't going to look the same. So on general purpose, we probably would have had to escort them out the building because I would have went to jail that day over a ring.
Said I would have went. James said, "Don't play with me." Honestly, you don't play with people like that. That's rude. You never know. Like, even if it could have been something as small as a freaking ponytail holder or a bracelet. If something is important to someone and you say that you can do something for them or are going to do something, then you should do it. Be a person of your word. That's how I feel life should be. I don't understand it. I just don't. Let me see. Shani said, thought he hated him because Reza blew up her medical pass. When he was complaining in this episode, tell me if I'm wrong, James, he made it seem as if he was upset at them not being there for her in the hospital.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, that's exactly what he said. He said that they weren't there. They're supposed to be her friends and stuff. They didn't show up. And he's, with that New Yorker accent was pissed. So the fact that this could have been what it was, that makes me look at it differently if that's really what it was. But that's not what he said. So I can't.
Even so, I'm still looking at shit the same because your wife is hanging out with these people on the daily.
Right. That's true.
And nothing else has happened. Now, if she wasn't kicking it with them and had to be around them, fine. But you're kicking it. Like, her, Gigi, and Reza are very close. So I'm looking at it like, But honestly, the way Reza moves, I feel like that would piss any man off who is in a relationship.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that.
Man off, because some of the way he moved, like calling her out of her name, calling MJ out of her name at the end of the episode because she said something when Gigi walked in. I was like, if my husband ever caught James getting mad and calling me a bitch, he'd be on a flight. So I feel like Tommy is expressing himself incorrectly. She said, "Ain't Tommy and MJ divorced? Or in the process?" No, they are still together. They said they went through a hard time, but they are still together, Shani, which is crazy. What is his culture? Farting and burping hating on others' cultures. She said that that's not my property. Give me my correct shit back. Remember when Reza screamed her out in front of everyone about all a listen. Reza, like, here's what I need gay men to understand. You're gay. Whoop-de-doo. But you're still a fucking man. You don't get to just talk to women any kind of way just because you in there as part of the girls group. You don't get to do that. You don't. Reza be doing too much with how he talks to these women. He just does. And separate from him being a guy, you just don't talk to people like that. Especially if they supposed to be your friends. So I'll be looking at Reza like, watch your mouth, child. Watch your mouth. Oh, Lord. Hot mess express. But let me see where we're at. The party, we end up leaving the party to meet Natasha and Amir, a new couple. I actually kind of liked them. I do feel like there's some cracks in the relationship. Not really on his. I feel like they come from his trauma, but I don't feel like they're cracks that they can't overcome, if that makes sense. I don't know yet. But
yeah, it's too early to determine because I felt like that at first watching it, but then when I realized, because and not to go down the rabbit hole again, but I had a cousin who had his wife pass away, and his aunt told him to remarry right away, and because she said she ain't babysitting no kids, so you remarry right away. I feel like that logic of telling someone to marry right away after they lose somebody, I think that's what that is.
He didn't marry anybody right away, though. It took years.
Am I confusing him with the other guy?
What other guy was married previously?
There was someone on the show that was married. It was one of these fools that got married. He was married to someone, she died, and then he got remarried again.
Yeah, but it took years. They gave the timeline. You got to pay attention to the timeline because that's a sensitive subject. He did take a couple of years because he said he got with her in 2009. They got married in 2014. She died by 2016. He met his wife during COVID. So some time went by. That's not just remarrying. They showed all of that on the screen.
No, I get, okay, so maybe we look at it differently because I don't think that that's time.
That is time. That's actually, if you're that young, it's a healthy amount of time. And that's the thing that people have to be careful with. When someone passes on and you lose a spouse, you don't get to say how much time they have. Now, if
that's what I'm saying. That was my point. If
someone's jumping into something, I'd say a year or two later, you're remarrying after losing someone. That to me is too soon. But 4 to 5, like you got a date, you can't just waste time. So that makes sense. You can't just sit and sulk.
No, I don't think you should sit and sulk. I don't think sit and somber. What I'm saying is he clearly is not over it, is what we're saying.
Well, no. Oh my God, James, don't do that. Why would you be over your wife dying? They weren't having a hard time. It sounds like the relationship is good.
That's why I was like,
and that's what I don't like. So that kind of triggers me a little bit, just because I know people who do that, and that's a horrible way to think in general. Because when someone loses a spouse, they have to have that time to heal. But when you lose a spouse unexpectedly, especially so young, it's not like they lived their life, had the opportunity. You don't just fall out of love and get over it. You still have love for that person. You're always going to be in love with them, except you choose and learn to move on with life and find a new person to love in his case. But that's not a fault. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not unhealthy. That's actually one of the best things he could do for grief. So I just want to...
No, I understood that. And that's not what I was saying. But I understand what you're saying.
What are you saying? Because
that's not what I was saying.
That's at all.
Right. And I think that's what I was saying. And what I'm saying is that I was making a correlation is that in times what my cousin did and what his aunt suggested, I don't feel like that's something that you should.
But we're talking about the show, not a cousin. That's what I'm only relating it to.
Yeah, but I got you. But what I'm saying is that I felt like in this thing, I felt like he did what was best for him. But at the same time, I do think that the trauma is carrying over. And maybe I'm judging it. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like for me, is that really a fair thing, though? That's where I was going to land. Is that really a fair thing to her? But we don't know yet.
For who?
For the new one.
Oh
The new
God,
wife.
James.
Yeah,
We
I
go
would
come
say
back to that because that is the last concern that anybody should have for the new partner. If she knows about that, chose to be with them, that's that. But to go into it as a new spouse with somebody whose partner died, feeling away because they have feelings about their ex, that's like somebody saying, let's say my sister dies tomorrow, or my brother-in-law who passed earlier this year. That's like if I go into a new relationship and somebody feels away because I'm still feeling those feelings. A spouse dying is the same thing as a family member dying.
yeah. No,
So
I got
the
it. No,
other
I got what you're
party, as
saying.
quiet as it's kept, she don't matter. You choose to be with him and he's treating you right. He's doing right by her. His
Mhm.
trauma, his pain, he's entitled to that. He's going to be grieving.
Absolutely.
But,
But
you
I'm just
know,
saying for me, because I don't know, like I said, I don't know. I've only lost one person. That was my dad. And my stepmom made it very clear she ain't dating again. So that's where I'm kind of like, I
they
don't have their,
older. Yeah, but they're
I
old.
get that.
Losing
But what I'm saying
joy,
is I don't
yeah.
have the experience. Yeah, I don't have that experience. I
But if
don't,
you got with somebody with you losing your parent who, because that's going to impact you, even if you go through the 7 stages of grief, that's always going to cause a pain there.
mhm.
And they're like, well, I don't want that to be a part or to impact the new person who may have a living parent. It's like kind of the same thing with a spouse. Like when it comes to grief, I think that's where people need to stop the semantics with relationships and just be supportive. The other thing is if you're being treated right, then he's allowed to have trauma. You cannot say to someone that you're dating who's lost a partner that they can't like have trauma or can't feel like it's not fair to the new spouse if the new spouse is being treated right and stuff. I do think the death of his ex impacts his relationship a little bit, but the wife has to be very careful with how she handles it. And I think he has to be careful with how he handles it. And I almost wish they didn't talk about it on the show because I was like, oh, that's sensitive.
Yes,
Maybe not.
that I agree with you. And I feel like I was mirroring that in my head. Maybe it didn't come out right, but that's okay. I was mirroring that in my head, which you just literally just said.
Yeah, because I just want people to understand because my mom did this when she married the husband she's with now because his wife passed away after she had their second child when she was like younger in like her 20s. Now my mom was like, oh, well, they still have pictures up and still honor her birthday and all of this stuff. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, that's not fair to me. I'm like, oh, well, that was his wife first. He loves you
Yeah,
now, but
no,
he
that
still
I
has the
get.
right to love and be in love with the person who's not here. And that's why I'm looking because I saw a clips of what's to come in the season.
Uh-huh.
And his wife, they were asking her and she was crying about it. And I'm like, girl,
But
they
that's
said
what I'm
you
saying.
think she's
Some
still
people
in
are
love
not
with you?
equipped to
So what?
handle that.
If she's
Some
in
people,
love, if he's still in love with his ex-wife, so the fuck what is she gonna do? Come down and resurrect the way Jesus Christ did? Is
right?
that
I
your
feel
main
like some people just ain't equipped to deal with stuff like that. They just not. And I feel like they go into it with the purpose, like, yeah, I can do this. Yeah, I can do it. As soon as her birthday come, he crying. You don't understand. It's like you said you can do it. That's why I'm like, you said this was fine. Go get him a birthday cake. Let's celebrate her. Like people have to learn how to support people in those instances. Like one thing I'm learning is that I called my stepmom more than I ever have, just because I know it would be nice to have her hear me, have her hear my voice, and know that I'm still there, even though what connected us is no longer here. You get what I'm saying? We're still connected. Like, and so I think for people like that in those situations, you have to find a way to be supportive. Get him a birthday cake that has her name on it, and let him, and celebrate it with him. Let him know that you support it.
That's the truth. I agree with what Kiwan said. That's why I was like, that's what I'm trying to get everybody to understand. The question is, why would the wife even get
I feel
jealous
like
of
there's
someone
more to.
who's not there? Like, that's a question for anything. I think when it comes to death, though, if someone's not living, if I had experience what this man experienced and had a spouse that's jealous or any of that, I honestly, oh well, I wouldn't give a fuck how anybody feels. But yeah, I didn't understand that. Even with my mom, I looked at her crazy with that. I was like, you're tripping. You're tripping. And I have to say, thank God for my dad's side of the family, because can you imagine?
Stop.
No, she really did that. And it almost like they almost did not get married because of it. She's like, everyone's telling me I'm wrong because you're not going to win against the dead. How do I know that?
But
With
once
her,
again, y'all, this is not a very easy situation. I just want to let everybody know this. This is not a very easy situation. What they are both going through. It's not just about her, it's about him too. It's not an easy situation. But what I would have liked to have seen from her, because he obviously is still struggling with this, is to have more support in ways that will help him feel like, oh my gosh, she supports me and everything. Now, she may do it behind the scenes. We don't know. We just
I
have
don't think
45
he
minutes of
does
the show.
because the only person we saw him speak about his passed on wife with was when they were separated with the guys, which I'm not going to go over since we already talked about it, but he didn't talk to his wife about that or mention it in their introduction scene, and we're seeing them with their 3 kids under 5, which is fucking insane.
Can you stop doing that, please? Y'all stop doing that because I'm telling y'all keep giving me hope that I can do it. Because y'all know I want 5 kids and I want to do it all at one time. So when I see couples who do it, I'm like, yeah, I can do it. And everybody say, James, no, you cannot stop.
I think it's possible if you have a spouse that's involved. If you have a spouse that's helping you and involved, I think it's possible.
Okay. Well, girl, I don't have no man. And if I want some kids now, I would have to do it by myself. So.
But you're not getting them right now. You got time.
I got 4 more years.
I'm like, he has time.
I got 4 more years and 5 kids to birth. I ain't got time. I got to do this shit tomorrow.
Oh, honey, you don't have a uterus and eggs and ovaries. You have all the time in the world. You as young as you feel. You don't have a biological clock to worry about. You are as young as you
I
feel.
am not trying to be 75 going to my high school graduation, going to my kids' high school graduation with my cane and shit. I'm not going to do that.
Lord help us. Lord help us. You don't want to be like some of these
No, I am not trying to be Grandpapa Paul. It's not going to happen like that. It's just not going to happen. I don't want people confusing me as.
And I'm going to be calling, he's still coming through the parking lot. His power chair. I cannot. But we're not going to go over the guys meeting because that was really all that came out was really about the deceased stuff. The wife, that's an interesting situation. I do kind of feel like we need to see something in this comment. It's always a trauma response after like you experience something like death, regardless of who passes. But I want to make sure he's not comparing a new wife to the deceased, but I don't think he is just based on how they described the meeting and things like that. I don't feel like he was doing that, but you know, it is possible. My parents did it. My cousins did it. Seemed like everybody in my family seemed to like 4, 5 as the minimum for kids. And one of my cousins did the shit single. 5 different kids, and they all bad. That's why I don't call them.
Oh no, my children won't be bad. My children will be the best behaved children you ever see in life.
That's what people say till they get them. You never know how these kids. My friend, her twin sister works for Vallejo Unified School District, and parents be like, "Oh, my baby's an angel," and this and that. Her sister be having to tell the parents, yeah, because your kid did this and then yanked little Dick Daquan and put him into the locker. I said, oh Lord, and the parents be wanting to fight the teachers for telling them.
I think I was like the one exception to the rule. How I was at school was how I was at home. There was no difference in me. Like there was no difference. How you remember me to be in high school is how I was in my actual life outside of high school. Like there was never a difference. I was always saving somebody from fighting. I was always, in the middle of like 2 people not getting along. I was always somebody that everybody told their business to. I was always that person. So when people say like, oh no, you don't know how your kids, like, no, my mom literally raised me to be the exact way I was at school. And that's why I got bullied a lot.
I feel like no shade to younger generation, but some of their kids, oh man. That's why I'm not working with kids and mental health. The babies was great, but the parents were.
It's genetics. Like, I feel like parents are like genetic chromosomes and DNA that mixes. I feel like there's certain ones that should not mix. We see this in studies all the time. And I feel like because people be having babies with just anybody, that's what happens. Like, I feel like there's a genetic code. And because a lot of us don't know our blood types, don't know anything about ourselves and our genetic makeup, it makes it difficult. So when you out there having babies with people and they bad as hell and shit, you be like, well, They're called chromosome traits. They have the same thing. You're the parent. You birthed them. This
I
is what you.
encourage you to look into developmental biological psychology and lifespan development. It's a new study of psychology that basically it's psychologists and biologists working together to research biology and psychology together, which makes sense.
No, they need to. And they need to do a lot more experiments, especially with our color.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
well,
that.
they've been doing quantitative and qualitative studies, but of course, not as many happen for this. But it's at least they're starting to do that. So I thought that was good. Kiwan said, "I appreciate my kids for not giving me grief. I was a Nola. She don't play. She do not play. Because when I tell you the reason I am a well-mannered and behaved person, aside from my filthy mouth and my little YouTube videos, is because the Nola trees." I used to have to go to the back because my grandfather lived in the bayou, and I used to have to grab a switch off the tree, got my ass whipped with that. They whooped our ass. They let us have freedom, but they
You know what's crazy? I was afraid of someone always hitting me, so I would always stay unclear of people. But when it came to when y'all were coming up, your high school year, the hot mess all of that year was. I literally was risking my. I was literally risking my life, y'all. When I tell y'all, Amina's high school year used to keep me on my toes because I was friends with everybody. Everybody knew me. Everybody. I'm literally jumping in the middle of everybody. This girl trying to fight this girl. I'm like, wait, no, y'all stop. They swinging on each other. I'm in the middle of the shit. I'm like, well, goddamn, like, the hell's going on?
Hot Mess Express.
It was.
Yeah. Not much has changed. Shani said she was fighting. That's why she got her ass whooped. Listen. Kiwan said maybe we'll find out why so many kids are autistic. I remember learning a little bit about that in school. But I know that a lot of the studies they have on autism and kids on the spectrum is having to do with people having kids later in life.
So,
but none of the studies I don't think are sticking.
We'll probably I don't think I don't think we'll ever get answers to that, which is so unfortunate. We need to.
Yeah,
I know that now today, Shani. If I can go back almost 20 years and go back in them times, I let some day asses fight. I did. I didn't jump in that shit.
Let me just say this: everybody who he had to interrupt with fighting or couldn't just talk down to stop, like myself, I was able to be stopped. But anybody else who couldn't be stopped, ain't nothing to doing shit in life.
Sure
That's a fact. One of them just hit me up on TikTok. Oh my God, Amina, do you remember me from high school? I'm trying to forget you bitches. Damn.
Just like the other one that slipped behind me and waited because we was singing happy birthday to your ass. She was standing right next to me. I turned around and she was gone. And I'm like, where the fuck she go? Over there fighting. I said, well, goddamn, we can't sing happy fucking birthday to Amina.
No. And then I almost got suspended the week after because then everybody wanted to fight me for somebody else. And I sure did in history class. I said, all you bitches can line up. They were.
It was like, but you did laugh.
I did. I was mad. They were confused. They didn't know what to do. The school resource cops was like, but she's her. And I was also a peer mediator in high school because we had a gang problem. I was usually the person defusing things, but I had time that day.
Child, they was so happy I went to ROP. Yo here was so happy I went to ROP because the motherfuckers fight for real because I was gone.
One day we need to get together. Myself, you, Kiwan. I'm always include Kiwan. You just stuck with me, Kiwan. We need to just discuss high school because some of the stories are like insanity from high school. I feel like I have crazy stories. I know everybody has crazy stories from high school. Maybe it's a reminder of like to appreciate the bills and being an adult.
I don't have any crazy memories. I was a good kid.
You just gave one. You just brought all that stuff.
That was your memory. This was your shit. I did not do when it comes to me and my own personal story. I did not fight. I never got into any trouble. I didn't get into shit. I had a job. I had 2 jobs actually at the time, my senior year. I had 2 jobs. I was doing the culinary shit. I was a 4.0 student. I didn't have time to figure out motherfuckers. I just didn't.
I was a 4.0 student.
No, I know. That's like me. That's like you get along.
Also had I was a true Gemini. Like I left people alone until, as Shani says, somebody showed me who the fuck wanted it. I'll never forget. I stood up on that desk. Oh, you bitches. Oh, Lord.
Or teachers.
It's okay. Mr. Kramer. God bless
I know
him.
that.
Mr.
I know.
Kramer from New Orleans.
Sure is. Yeah.
Oh, Lord. She said, I don't have my own up with James. I wasn't really too crazy in high school.
No, she
Great
wasn't.
student,
Yeah, no.
all of that. I guess in some ways I was like him because I got along with everyone. And sometimes me and James specifically and Jasmine, tall Jasmine, were forced to kind of choose sides. We also went to a school we could not wear red of any shade because of the gangs. It was so bad, them norteños at our school. We could not wear certain shades of blue. It was a lot. They locked us in the campus. People used to be buying stuff from the vending machines, doing riots to throw them at you and stuff. I said, oh, Lord, I lived close. I used to hop that fence and go the fuck home. Now it's a California distinguished school. Can you believe it?
No. That's what you say. I have not seen it since I graduated. And I feel like I
My
have
siblings went there. My youngest sibling is 11 years younger than me. So I was like, what the fuck? They got an automated sign now for the hospital, the digital sign. They changed. They have a new field. They drained the pool.
I gotta see who's doing my high school reunion. I know it ain't gonna be at Mount Eden, but I gotta figure out who's doing my year.
I cussed everybody out.
Because I didn't go to the 10-year one, so I'm gonna go to the 20.
I didn't go to the 10-year one because I had an ex that was mad at my husband for becoming my husband.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that crazy? He's like, we were supposed to be together forever, Mina. You did me dirty. Nigga, please. That's why you broke it, Eastmont. Anywho, let's see what's next. The group has a Persian night. Honkin', I apologize. The group has a Persian night where everybody gets together. They're gonna have dinner, eat food, all of these beautiful things. Child, the mess was messing, should I say. But we do see Mercedes meet with Natasha before that happens, and Natasha mentions Tommy and asking Tommy, how is Tommy doing with this group? And they showed footage of Tommy tearing up Reza's home. What? Key what? Not your ex is a case study. Yeah. I wanted to go to my high school reunion. I was going to go, and then I didn't want to go. Then I was going to go because one of my good friends was like, let's go, girl. I need somebody to go with me. But then there was like a little group they created on Facebook for like the event for it. I guess they planned it through that. And that's where I started learning all of this crazy stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm just not going to show up. I'm just not going to show up. But yeah, didn't show up to that. But I don't understand why this man tore up Reza's yard and how he's not in jail or in trouble for it. Because,
or at the very least,
sued? Like what? So that shows Reza may be a good friend to MJ, because I promise you, MJ's child is probably the only reason why nothing has gone, too much. But I also want to call out, what's her face? Sky. Why did you call Gigi low class for enjoying wine?
I was curious about that. I didn't get that either.
Because that was like, do low class people get drunk or something? Because I could have swore Housewives, which is a show based on rich people, I could have swore that they drink all the time. So we're low class for drinking now? I don't understand it. She says the show worth watching. Are you asking if this show, the Valley Persian Style, is worth watching? Thus far, I don't know. If you're talking about Shaws of Sunset back in the day, I know you watched that. But yeah, this show, I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure it out. MJ's baby daddy husband is terrible. Yeah. I don't know what his problem is. He's weird. He gives redneck energy. I'm just going to say it. Y'all can cancel me or whatever you got to do. He gives redneck energy heavily. Like heavily. But at this event, before the event, Gigi meets with Reza. Reza and Gigi are meeting at a coffee shop, which looked to be a cute coffee shop. And Reza is a real estate agent, and he's telling Gigi, because she's trying to move, she's like, he's like, listen, babe, you got to get your credit in order. So Gigi's parents are very wealthy. Her dad pretty much pays for everything. She admitted she has never had a job outside of Shahs of Sunset. How the fuck do you feel in your brain and say, I want to have a baby, but I've never worked a job? I don't know how people do that. I don't understand it, but James,
I just felt like
have a baby, never having a job outside of a reality show that was canceled.
I just feel like for me, no, that just shows what her parents always giving them money and stuff. That's why we have another show where parents are just giving their children money to spend and acting like they don't have to make nothing of their lives. Simone, from Married to Medicine, where are you right now? Raise your hand. Is that Chase? Did that Chase bill ever get Chase credit card get cut off? Because we know you brought that Tesla. So
Simone
it's the same.
better turn on this show because I know she know about it from BravoCon. Because it's gonna be you, Simone.
Yep.
You and Cecil with a child almost 40.
40.
Yeah. Talking about I've never had a job and unable to move. Now, Gigi's situation is weird because she's in a house that she's been renting, a huge mansion for just her and her son, which she doesn't need. She had to move because the landlords are moving back in. This is happening more in California. The landlords are wanting to move back in, especially after the wildfires. Their property's getting burnt up and they need somewhere to be. And they have the right to do it because they own it. But Gigi did not prepare because in California, there are rental laws that state if someone wants to move back in, they have to give you proper notice. And I believe it's like 90 days or something for here. That a client go through the same thing. So I'm like, Gigi, you knew, but you didn't prepare. So you're having parties at an Airbnb when you really need to be finding a house. And Reza tells her that she's not going to find a house with her credit. She needs to fix her credit. And Gigi gets upset and pretty much walks off. Then we see her in the confessional talking about she buying a zip, or let me not talk that way. She's buying an ounce of weed, marijuana, which is legal here in the state of California. She said she is buying an ounce of weed, a zip, whatever you call it, every 48 hours. Even when I smoked a lot, I would have a zip for like maybe like a week or two. If you're going through an ounce of weed in an hour, and I don't think y'all know how big like an ounce of weed is. Like that's a lot of marijuana. I don't know if she rolling big ass Beelers and rolling big old Phillies and all this crazy stuff. I don't know if she put it in a backwood. I don't know what she's doing, but whatever she's doing too much of it, y'all, because that's a lot. You're smoking an ounce of weed every 2 weeks. Thank you, my fellow pothead. Me and Shanny both smoke every day. An ounce is crazy. An ounce is crazy.
That means you literally ain't doing nothing all day long.
Where do you find the time?
Like, when you really think it's like you literally are getting, like, anytime you smoke that much weed, let me be clear with y'all, it ain't working. It's like whatever you think it's doing, it's not doing.
I think what people don't understand, pothead's pothead. Well, you're not pothead.
I'm not a pothead.
But to explain it, like, the more you smoke, like if I smoke a blunt, if I take a couple puffs of that blunt and feel high, I'm high. I'm not going to feel no higher. People be tricking themselves into thinking stuff. The other thing that's important to understand is if you smoke all the time, you can very well smoke that much every 2 days. Because I do know somebody, I have a friend in jail right now, free chop, sorry. And he smokes like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I know people who do it, but I agree with Shani. Like, that's a problem. Like maybe an eighth a day, that's okay. And some people will feel like, okay, that's not a lot. But I was very specific because I feel like when you see yourself smoking so much and you feel your tolerance going up, you should probably do something about it, Gigi. Take a sabbatical from the weed, girl. It's all right.
Do something, yeah. But I feel like she'll probably go into a sweat and be, fiending. So that's probably why she ain't doing it.
Withdrawals from marijuana are a legitimate thing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of good that weed is legal because now researchers are finding that stomach issues, gastrointestinal headaches, all sorts of things like sleeping, there's actual stages of withdrawal that people go through trying to stop smoking. And the more you smoke, the more likely you are that But can't nobody make me spend $3,000 to $4,000 a month in the state of California on marijuana. Gigi, you better get your ass over to South Central. Get yourself over to Compton, San Bernardino County, since you in the valley. Get you over to Hemet, Riverside. Go find a street dealer and
That's
do
what I'm
it
saying.
that
You
way.
ain't got no plug yet, like somebody that grow it in their backyard or some shit. You got to. I mean,
Because an ounce of weed, if she's buying it from the cannabis club, she's spending $150 to $200
right.
likely for that. When you could go get it from Pablo Escobar Part 4
Okay, for real.
around the corner from the taco truck in Compton for a smooth $100, baby. So I'm
$100.
just
Yeah.
I'm like, Gigi, you're not smoking weed right, baby. You're not smoking right. Shani said, I'm smoking right now, and that's my first one of the day. Right. Harry Potter over here. I hope she's sharing it with people, at least puff passing. She not. Gigi look like she high all the time, though. I'm not.
The thing about her that really gets on my nerves, and I don't even know this lady, is that you have a child, you have to move, you have to do all this, and instead of you saving up that money to get yourself together, you sitting up there smoking it up. Like, I don't understand that. I don't understand how you got to go someplace, you got to move, and you would think putting back money to make sure you are in a good space, you just living frivolously like you ain't got shit to do. Like, that's what's so crazy about it.
Not call Stacy or Wendy from BravoCon and get the hookup.
She need to do
I would call
something.
Wendy, Stacy with them CBD gummies. Call Wendy for the real shit. Get real happy like Eddie. You could be in your mugshot. Just like that. I'm trying to tell you. Maybe that's why her ass is so violent. She was always picking up a damn knife and threatening to stab somebody. Girl, stop smoking.
I'm telling you, I feel like it ain't for everybody. It really ain't. Like
people who want to fit in.
I get that, but at the same time, I feel like it's not for everybody. I feel like y'all listen to James. It is not for everybody. Everybody is not supposed to do this. And I get we have put it in society that it's a norm now because it's legal and you can get it on every corner like you can a soda at the gas station. I totally get all that. But y'all, some of y'all withdrawals, some of y'all, like, y'all be doing way too much. Way too much.
Gigi worries me because what do you do when you travel?
She worries because she has kids. She has a child. Like, one thing she was single.
What will you do when you're not in California? Like, when I travel, I know some people will be like, oh, I could get it through the airport. I'm paranoid as fuck. I'm not going to jail for nobody. So I will fly with nothing and be sober for a week. When I went to Mexico, no weed. I just drank a little bit here and there. So I don't think Gigi has that ability. But you know what? Good for you, Gigi. But she needs to get her credit together. Her credit's not good. She's got debt, too much spending. It's unfortunate. I'm going to just say this. Teach your kids the process of buying a home, what goes into it. If her parents were teaching her things instead of just throwing money at her, she would understand that when you go to purchase a home or rent a luxury home, especially in Los Angeles, they're going to want to see your bank statements. They're going to want to see your paycheck stubs. If you don't have paycheck stubs, they're going to want to see 6 months to a year of your bank statements. They're going to want to see how much you're spending, how much is coming into the account. There's a lot of stuff, and they want to make sure that your credit score is right. So I don't understand why Gigi is like against this and throwing a fit. But storm out, girl. Do you have a fit? You old, but have a fit. But we get to this stupid Persian party, and the group decides to discuss Gigi again. They're like, she's going to need a co-signer. And at first I was like, what the heck? Reza's like, oh, Persian community, we're very honest with our friends. I'm honest with my friends like this too, but I could be honest with James without being honest with James on a live, if that makes sense. Like,
we've had our moments. I don't take it personal because here's the thing. Anything that she me, I have to go by her government name. Anything that Amina tells me live, off live, I do not get offended. I don't care what it is. I don't care what she tells me. I don't care how it comes out. I never get offended because I know that deep down she loves me and she's been rocking with me as my best friend for 20 years. So for me, I understood where they were coming from. The problem is the person who is receiving the information ain't ready to hear it.
Mm.
So that's the difference. I feel like for me, anything you tell me, I'm ready to hear. That's just what it is. Like whatever you tell me, we had a moment in this life
The
where
problem
you had to
is,
be honest with me. I'm
but
gonna hear
if
you.
you're honest with somebody respectfully, then I feel like it doesn't cause room for issues. I do feel like the I don't need a bunch of people coming at me about my credit score when I'm thinking I'm going to dinner. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I got that.
That's the only thing. I'm like, okay, we at dinner. I know we all know each other, but do we really got to talk about my fucked up credit at dinner right now? Like,
well, okay, but let's put it this way.
That. Huh? Go ahead.
Let's put it this way. Okay. Because we have to look at it like this. Who couch she gonna be surfing on with her child when she get put out her damn place?
Her daddy's.
We hope. Because
I mean,
that's
it's
why
their choice to open
it's their
up
choice to open up the door.
house.
They may take the baby and not take her. Like I've seen that situation where like, oh yeah, we gonna take this baby, but you got to get the fuck out and figure it out. Because it ain't this baby's fault. Yeah.
Her mom does that to her often. And when I had came to Phoenix back in 2017 or 16, whenever I went, she had called me while I was with y'all. And she's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And my mama took the kids, but said I gotta figure it out. I said,
yeah. I've seen that so many times where like, you know, the girl would have her kids walk up to the door and the grandma will take the baby and get your ass to figure it out. Because I'm gonna take this baby, but you figure it the fuck out. Because ain't nobody. Because that's what I feel like. Because we're from California, I see that happening versus it's gonna be all right. And so that's why I'm saying, yeah, it's a bad look to be talking about this girl effective credit and shit. But at the same time, who couch she gonna be sleeping on when they told her to get the fuck out?
Child, let me get these comments. As a matter of fact, after you're live, I'm about to go see the you know who what man to get the rest of you know what, at least a half for the rest of the week. Because that's a healthy amount, Shani. That's a healthy amount. Maybe her daddy just gonna pay for the whole thing up front, so there's no monthly bill. That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
And to me, that's not teaching her anything. That's why we say, Simone, you can't do this to children. You can't just give them what the fuck they want just because they throw tantrums.
They have to want to be independent
yes.
and value it. And Gigi's a perfect example of someone who's not been independent and cannot value it, so flips out.
And it's not like she's stupid. She's a smart girl. So it's like
she's smoking so much weed, she can't see through the fuzz or the fog. I'm telling you, James, she can't see through nothing. You smoking a zip every 48 hours? That's why she ain't found a house. She laid out like this. I'm trying to tell you, she can't get nothing done. She can't. Mercedes, when Gigi walks in, Mercedes immediately tells everybody. And Gigi walked in when Reza's like, she's gonna need a co-signer. And what is going on with this stupid AI background thing? It's tripping out. But as soon as Gigi walks in, Mercedes is like, oh, we've been talking about you. And I'm like, girl, why the fuck would you say that? Now, I get saying it, but I would have pulled my friend to the side, like after the event, toward the end of it, and said something. Or if you're going to say something because you want to look honest and forthright, you should have shut that down. Like, she's going to be coming, y'all. We shouldn't be talking about her. Like, do something. But don't just say it. Of course, you're going to piss her off.
Yeah, you're going to piss her off and then make her feel like she's being attacked, which, you know, I don't know these people, so I don't know what the situation is. But for us normal people, we probably feel attacked if everybody coming to talk about my fucked up credit. And I'm just like, wait, I thought I was coming to dinner big chilling with y'all. I got to hear about my credit and shit. But at the same time, when you have to, when she has a child, so you kind of have to look at that like, look, you can't be doing this shit. You got to get the fuck together. Like, you got to do that. And I know we're saying in the comments that she has a mom, a dad, a big sister that are going to make sure she goes home with her hungry. As I said, in California, people do it differently. I'm telling y'all, y'all don't know how many times I didn't see a grandmama pick up a grandbaby and tell their daughter to get the fuck on.
I
Like
think
it.
knowing the previous show,
Mm-hmm.
her parents, she won't be homeless. Like
Okay.
there's like I mean, whatever she wants, she could click her heels 3 times with them and have that. And I'm like, hey, if that's what they want to do in old age, then do what you want to do. But when they're not here, I'm curious to see how she'll survive. Genuinely curious. Genuinely curious. As Shani
Yep.
said in this comment, they're always gonna spoil her rotten. And they genuinely will. Um the group sits down at the food looked good. The food looked good. When that lady flipped that pan, I said, God exists in the form of food. I'm trying to tell y'all. But Bombshad's snoring comes up at the table. And, Sky is like, it's really bad. It's really bad. And she's like, it's so bad. I got to go to the next room to sleep. And they kind of get into it because he's looking at her like, whoa, why are we announcing this at the TV? Because, Buckshot is older. So I don't think he wants to be with the foolery and the fuck shit. I think that his marriage is irreparably broken, in my personal opinion. And somebody who also saw that was Reza, who interrupted and was like, well, y'all better figure it out and get back in the same bedroom because that's how you wind up divorced. Thank you, Reza.
It's something more than that snoring and his mouth be open. It's
Nobody
something way more. Ain't nobody, girl. Come on now. Now you playing.
My
It's something
husband
more.
snores louder than a sideshow happening in Oakland at 4 a.m. And I don't leave the bed. I'm not gonna lie, I am that spouse that'll like lift his head up on the pillow, try to get the passageway right. I done put a
Well,
little
see,
baby rub under his nose while he sleep to shut him up, but I'm not leaving.
See, I also am a person that snores, so I got to get a sleep number that adjusts from side to side. So whoever I end up with, I got to make sure to tell them, hey, if I snore, push this button, lift my ass up, so I can.
$50,000 bed.
That's okay. Listen,
me and Josiah went to mattress discounters years and years and years ago in Emeryville, off Powell Street, where Costco and all that used to be. So I was working there. We were like, we need a bed. We have our first apartment, all this stuff. I went in there. He was like, yeah, I could get you out the door with this one for $15K. I said, the fuck, the Walmart mattress it is until we were young. But I said, I'm going to ride this Walmart mattress till I can't no more. 15,000.
Listen, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Because I want the one to keep you cool. Because I be getting hot. I need the fan up in the mattress. I need to be able to adjust and move. I need all of that.
Buy in Phoenix because it's much cheaper.
I just found out, y'all. I'm gonna be in Phoenix a lot, and my school is in Phoenix, and there's some things you have to do for dissertations and stuff to finish school. And they're like, you have to come to Phoenix.
Yeah. Like what Shani said, mattress firm in California be on some bullshit. But when you come somewhere else, it actually is the price that you need it to be.
Lord, let me see this. As you guys talking about MJ, she's no longer attracted to Tommy. Have you seen that belly? Is he pregnant? Tommy and MJ should just be glad they have each other. That's what I will say.
We weren't talking about them though. We were talking about Sky. I'm not going to butcher. I'm not going to butcher that man's name. Bam is what we decided, and that's what we're gonna call him. We talking about Sky and Bam, and I said there's something else that she keeping from this camera, because ain't no way you talking about some damn snoring and his hair being your hair being in his mouth and shit. Ain't nobody. No. There's more to the story than that. What did he do? Yeah, what did you do? Because she looked like the sneaky one. He don't look like he's sneaky to me.
I don't know. MJ and her dude are kind of. But the snoring stuff, he brings it up. Bombshot didn't like that Reza said that, but it's the truth. You don't like that your marriage being talked about, tell your wife not to, talk about it. But the last thing we see in this season premiere is Gigi leaving the house mad. She just got fed up and she was like, I'm leaving. And yeah, keep throwing a fit, Gigi, all you want. Grow the fuck up and downsize. I don't know what else to tell you.
She came downstairs because all the other bedrooms in her house are full of her clothes, and she needs closet space. And...
Then you better. Half of these people don't even rewear stuff. If you don't donate some of these dresses from back in the day,
okay,
stop. Everything you wore on Shaws of Sunset, donate it.
That shit was dated as hell.
Right. We probably freed up some closet space right there. But the last thing we see is Reza really annoyed with MJ, calling her out her name and stuff for saying that to Gigi. Okay. Reza, I don't know what to say with it for now. I'm going to put a pin in it. I'm going to see how this goes. It's a new show. So depending on the views, the people who engage, the replay gang, if they tapped into the show, we will continue it. I always try to give things 5 to 6 episodes trial. After that, my brain says it's been a month and a half. Let it go. You know? But I feel like this show will do well because a lot of people miss Shaws of Sunset. Me and James both have an Instagram. I've been trying to put it on the screen because sometimes you guys ask how you can DM James. He is not the best with social media, but if you have his social media, he does respond and is responsive. So check him out, follow him. You can also use my @ to follow me on Instagram, as well as TikTok, as well as Facebook and other social media places. We will be back live, you guys, in about 90 minutes on James's channel with Kiwan J TV to discuss Potomac Housewives and God knows whatever else, because things could come up. Other than that,
Mrs. Best got some homework to do.
I do, don't
Just say she got some homework. She got some homework to do. She got to find these outfits.
Now, if I can't find them, don't whip my ass. I'm gonna do the best I can.
I ain't gonna whip your ass, but your ass says you can find it.
I should be able to, because I feel like once they announce the seating chart, they do the.
I don't know if they even do. I don't know if the reunion even happened yet. No, it had to have happened because they wouldn't have had the seating chart if it didn't.
I don't know.
Or maybe it's happening right now, or maybe it's happening this weekend. I don't know. I don't know how they're doing it, but usually they release the seating chart, the reunion, that they've already filmed the reunion. Usually,
that's how it usually goes. So I'm confused on that. But that's what we'll be discussing, the Potomac seating chart. So I encourage everybody to tap in, tune in.
Yes, the Potomac seating chart, and we have to talk about somebody who made it to the Potomac seating chart that I didn't think was going to be there. And I'm just like, okay, I have an opinion or 2 or 3 or 4, like I always do. And I ain't washing my mouth either.
Kiwan says the reunion happened.
Oh, then yeah, we should be able to find them then. We should be able to find them outfits then.
Ah, shit, I almost broke my glasses.
All right, so we're going to eat. I got to finish up my laundry, and then we're going to come back on my channel. Y'all don't be lit.
Yes, we will be on James's channel later. Other than that, I appreciate everybody for watching. I can't see y'all now, so I'm in live. See y'all later.